improving the lives of women all over the world.
Yeah, so I'm here to talk about FINCA. We're doing, it's an organization I work with that does microfinance. Maybe you've heard of it a little bit. It's a concept of microfinance is going into nations. I didn't know this before I started working with this organization, but 2/3 of the world is under $3 a day. It's like more than 4 billion people, and the vast majority are women and children. 70%, they're calling it the feminization of poverty. Women are largely representing the poor people of the world. So this organization seeks to go out and provide loans to these women to start their own businesses. And so the loans usually start out at $50 and go up to like $5,000 after the woman has been through it, been through several cycles and has shown her responsibility. And it's just incredible. I mean, I traveled with them a lot before I started working at casino. Celebrities are always touting different charities and stuff, and I don't want to just be a talking face. I wanted to actually understand and see how it works on the ground. It's just incredible. You go to these places and these women. Did you go? I've been with them to Uganda, to Ecuador, Guatemala, and most recently Mexico. They work in 22 different countries in Afghanistan, in Azerbaijan, like all over the world. And it's just amazing because you see these women. They're on. I met a woman who was on 80 cents a day when she started. She had 10 kids. Her husband was beating her because she couldn't have a son. She was having, this was in Uganda. She had all daughters. And she was like knocking on her neighbors' doors for their dirty laundry water so that she could wash her clothes. And she started with a $50 loan, which obviously to us sounds like, what can you do with that? She started a little sort of restaurant on the side of the street. And now she has her own, 10 years later, she has her own business. She employs 7 of the women in her village. Wow. She owns her own home, and she's in one of her daughter's university. So you see within like...
Did she get rid of the husband?
Oh, yeah. It's true. It's one of the most amazing things. All the women say, you say, what's the best thing about, being able to run your own business? Yeah. And the first thing they say is that we get rid of men who treat us badly. Because they don't depend on them. Exactly. They don't depend on them for their, for feeding their children anymore.
And they find a sense of self.
Right? Absolutely. And their daughters can be proud of them.
Yeah. Isn't it true that isn't the guy who started this the Nobel Prize?
Well, it's a similar it was sort of a movement in the 70s that started this whole idea. And Muhammad Yunus, who started Grameen Bank, which uses the same concept in Bangladesh, he won the Nobel Prize for peace this
year. What he was saying, which is similar to your organization, 95% of women repay the loans.
Yeah.
95%.
It's amazing. And that's really interesting. So the cool thing is, too, that once you put money in, it recycles 3 or 4 times a year. So they pay it back, and then it goes to another woman. And also, once you start a bank, because the women pay back so responsibly, it's there forever. So you start a bank in a country, and you put them on once, and it's there for the rest of,
What does it stand for?
Foundation for International Community Assistance. And the website, if you want to check it out, is www.villagebanking.org. And it's really wonderful to learn about it, and I mean, to give if you're interested. But it's incredible. Something else Muhammad Yunus always says is that poverty, we think it's like part of the world. That it's just something that has existed, has always existed, will always exist, like war, like all these things we take for granted.
Right.
And it doesn't have to. It's a condition imposed upon us, and that we can change. And it's not something.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, this is one of the best ways to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And also evening out the economic power is social power and political power, and evening out this imbalance between women and men will have a huge political impact in the world too. Because right now, if all the men have the money and the women are, not able to feed their own children, raise them the way they want to.
Right.
Can I ask you one question? Because I'm sitting here thinking, oh, this is amazing. I want to go and check it out when I get back to my hotel. But isn't it fun to promote something besides like movies that you do, but something that you really believe in?
Yeah.
Isn't it the best feeling in the world? I think what you're doing is amazing.
Absolutely.
So do I. Really wonderful.
Thank you. Well, I mean, it's... Yeah. The people themselves are the most amazing.
Exactly.
I mean,
you don't want to take credit. I understand.
It's like, whatever attention you can sort of throw on.
Exactly. Hey, for more information for Natalie, you can go to our website. You can just look for Randall Lamb.